All right, I'll call the August 13th, 2025 meeting of the Fire Station Building Committee to order. We are meeting in room 120, One Liberty Lane in Norfolk, Mass, and also via Zoom. All attending members are present, so no need for roll call. I will open up first. Agenda item is public comment.
Oh, what the heck? Donna Jones, who decides when the extra money gets returned to?
So we talked about it at the last meeting. We can't do that until town meeting.
Okay.
So
Does the committee say we're done with it, give it back to the town, and the town decides the project?
that's
The two options are transfer monies over to another similar type project. We don't have a similar type project,
Okay.
so that option's out. The other one is to reduce the debt.
But yes, I think it's probably up to the committee to agree when that time happens.
Thank you.
All right, Steve, I'll turn it over to you. Welcome back from vacation.
Thank you, Kevin. Good evening, everyone. So I'm gonna just sort of go through an update on where we are and some of the things that are ongoing. And they're really in no particular order. But essentially, base contract work is complete. There's a balance that we're holding of $133,385 on the contract as of June 30th, which was the last requisition. The landscaping, in particular the lawns, acceptance date of June 30th that came from the landscape architect is being disputed by the contractor. They believe it should have been accepted earlier. There is an ongoing discussion that we'll be having with the GC and the landscaper on that. A site as-built was submitted to planning, and Beta, their peer reviewer, did review and sent back numerous comments. There are a few comments that I don't believe are necessarily valid in this case because they're more geared towards a developer rather than the GC working for the town. So I'm going to be reaching out to Rich McCarthy just to go over that. Rich had also extended the TCO to August 31st because he anticipated some issues with the as-built plan. So I know certain things that are definitely valid that needed to be added to the plan, which contractor is working on now. Next item is the large drainage basin out in front of the fire station. There has been ongoing review of that as it has not been draining as quickly as it should be in accordance with the documents, which is within 72 hours. When it was originally built and we were originally monitoring it back last fall, it was draining as it was supposed to. Of course, we were in somewhat of a drought last year, and when it was also built. This spring, with the number of rains that we had and pretty consistent rains, I think if you've gone by it, you've noticed that there's been standing water. We have had the contractor, the subcontractor, the engineer, the architect, ourselves, all out to review it. Niche, the civil engineer, is currently reviewing the situation, and we're waiting for their report. It appears that the groundwater table is higher than what it was originally designed for and actually assumed, because if you recall, this portion of the project was where the existing fire station was originally. So we really didn't have any direct borings under this section. They did some test pits on either side of the building. So if we have a higher water table than was anticipated, there's a good reason why some of this water is not draining. So they're going back to look at a number of things, whether it was potentially how it was constructed, which was pretty straightforward, or whether something has to be done to remedy this standing water situation. And we've asked that if there is additional work to be done to this, that it be the most cost-effective and the shortest duration of remedial work that's possible, because essentially we're working in a completely finished area, if that is the case. Like I said, we do not have Nich's response yet to the situation, and we're waiting for that hopefully this week. Next
Okay.
week, the latest.
I was gonna ask when they're supposed to get their response in, so we get some. Needs to be done, so they're supposed to send something in next week.
Tim, maybe you can speak to that. I don't know if you've gotten an update from them on their response time, but or whether we're hoping to get it by next week.
Actually, I received an email from Ben about 5 o'clock, and Marissa is hoping to have that ready for tomorrow or Friday.
Okay,
I
great.
tried placing a call to her, but I wasn't able to get through.
Okay. So obviously we will be reporting further on this issue. Next item, closeout and O&M finalization has been somewhat slow to wrap up. We have advanced some documents to Tim Chenard for his use and his knowledge on the building systems. I think a lot of what's left now is sort of housekeeping for some of the trades, although I believe the sprinkler guy had some more major comments that he needed to add to his as-built, but we're looking to wrap that up no later than the end of this month. And get the hard copies and the electronic copies submitted. But we have advanced some things just to help Tim out. The alternate means of egress out of the building proposal request. We are still waiting for pricing on that. I gotta admit there does appear to be a lack of response from some of the subs in my conversations with the general contractor. But as much as they probably don't want to do the work, I've asked them to submit the price. So we are still waiting for that. We did get an updated version of the sub-metering PCO this morning. It is within our budget, and we will be issuing change order number 10 for that work. That's mainly tying in the sub-metering system into the controls in the BMS. And this will also assist in the data collection that we need for mass save on our verification period for the occupied period incentive. We do continue to have some warranty issues. Some haven't been resolved yet because we're waiting for things. Some have just come up. For instance, the overhead doors, there's a couple of things that still need to be taken care of on those. We did just have an issue with some of the furniture, and that's we've got a new piece being delivered either tomorrow or the next day. The HVAC warranty issues, which was the air handling unit recovery wheel and the electric radiant panels, those have all been replaced. The audio-visual work that's still left to do by Pro AV, we've been chasing them to come in and finish that work up. I sent another email to the owner this week looking for a date to get that done. There's only about 4 items that are left to be done. The added work list, we issued change order to the contractors for a number of items, and they've been working their way through them. Some are not complete yet. We did just issue a purchase order to Industrial Communications in order to install the equipment and program for the FirstNet cell phone booster. I've asked them for a date that would this would be installed, waiting for that response. The murals, we've got a PO waiting for a W-9 from Fast Signs. We actually have a meeting with Fast Signs tomorrow morning to go over the scope and procedures, and I'll remind them that we need that W-9 in order to get the purchase order issued. There's a couple of other small items like the mailbox, the hoist trolley, and the kitchen stools that we'll also be pursuing. We have from the HVAC contractor, we have this issue came up and it's arisen again. They are submitting a claim for the increase in prevailing wages. We responded back to them probably the end of last year when this first came up, that even the IG's office had a determination on any project that's longer than a year. Prevailing wage rate sheets are only good for a year, and then we ask for an update. But during bidding, if it's a project that is slated to last longer than a year, the contractors are supposed to figure that into their bids, and that came directly from the IG's office. So we're going to have to respond to CAM HVAC on that because they keep pushing back on Castagna. So I told Jeff Rollins, the PM, that we would put together a second response on that, but the first response was denying it. We also got a public records request yesterday from the Foundation for Fair Contracting in Massachusetts, asking for a ton of information on prevailing wage sheets for all contractors and subcontractors, for one prevailing wage rate sheet for each month that they were there. I mean, the project was over 2 years old. That's a ton of work. We have all the information, but through Judith, I've responded back asking them to be a little bit more specific on which trades they're looking for, so that we can get that information to them. We're not denying that they they can't look at the information, but we don't want to make this an onerous task of putting it all together. That's what I had for an update. Besides the discussion of the ribbon cutting and what we need to do. I don't know if there's any questions.
I just have a couple, and then I'll everybody else. So the alternate means of egress, that was actually one of the items on the work list, right? That
Yes.
work list that they approved. That's the door into the. Okay,
Trying to fix it.
So that one you're still waiting on final pricing, but all the other work list items all have prices attached and they're all being worked on?
With the exception of the couple things I said, the stools, I want to make sure we get a requote on the 3 stools from the furniture vendor, because his quote is a little bit old. And then we're just gonna purchase the mailbox, and then I talked to Tim earlier today about the hoist beam trolley. The Miss Meadows contractor owned the hoist, but not the trolley. And they dropped off the hoist today. So we've looked at this before. It's probably a Harbor Freight type of a purchase. Just making sure that we've got the correct one that will fit the W section that is the beam. And then the weight capacity is a 1 ton.
So what So the list here, it sounds like we still need as-built. There's the drainage basin issue, and then there's some other legal items between the public records request and the claim, the HVAC claim. What needs to be done if our TCO is expiring August 31st? Are we expecting that we're ready for an actual certificate of occupancy on August 31st? Or what are the steps to get to that? What needs to be done to get to that?
Well, the biggest thing that needs to be done at this point, because we don't really know the answer on the basin, is making sure that that as-built gets all the information that's required from the beta peer review report. That's what Rich McCarthy is looking for. Items like the HVAC claim and the public records request, that wouldn't affect
Right.
us getting a C of O.
So really it's the as-built and whatever shakes out of the drainage basin.
Yeah, because that could be potentially work that we would have to alter the as-built for that drainage basin, depending on what they come back with.
What about anything on the added work list? Would that affect? No. Okay.
No, because there's really nothing site related. It's equipment, like FirstNet is a cell phone booster.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my two overarching questions are one, like, how do we get the certificate of occupancy? So that part's done.
Yeah.
And so that answers that question.
Everything that the building commissioner wanted, that Bob Bullock wanted, that's been completed.
Okay. So it's really just getting the as-built done and the drainage basin is part of that.
Yeah.
And then the
Hopefully
other
not,
is, I guess, how do we get the project completely done? Or do you think we're going to be in a position where we get into the fall and we just have to make a decision to return some amount of money to the town in the fall and just leave some left over to kind of get everything wrapped up?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we have, and again, flips back to the basin, there is a basin seed mix that's supposed to go in the bottom of that basin. At this point, even if that was dry, we couldn't plant it because it's out of season. So that's going to be an item of work left to do, and that's why we have $133,000. It may be something that has to be held until we get grass established. Wouldn't mean that we wouldn't know what our final number would be for the project. It just means we wouldn't necessarily close out Castagna until we got the seed established and accepted.
But we could at least return.
Correct.
Some-
It wouldn't be extra money coming out of what we may be returning, because it's part of base contract work.
Does that doesn't hold up the CO of O getting that in?
It shouldn't. It's seed. I mean, Beta does have it on their list, because it was obvious. I mean, they did a walkthrough of the site. I guess that would be a discussion I would have with Rich also, whether something that is a lawn itself, would that hold anything up? I don't think it should, but
Either of you guys know when we would need to have an amount that we're returning to the town at town meeting?
Just do it May.
What's that?
You just do it May.
Sorry.
You can do it in May.
Oh, in May.
Yeah.
Did we already miss that window?
The
Like,
warrant hasn't closed.
does it have to be a warrant
It
article?
does have to be one article because you're voting to.
Yeah,
Pay
and
down
that's
debt.
due September,
The 6th.
Which we have,
so we're probably gonna miss that
we're
window.
gonna miss that one. Is there anything we can do to expedite dealing with that basin? Because now it is like, it stinks, like it literally stinks. It stinks out there, smells like low tide, like it's becoming more of a eyesore and like nuisance to the site and taking away from the, you know, how wonderfully done that project was, but the most of the comments I get now is what is up with that cesspool in the front of the building? That's what I hear. I don't hear, man, the fire station is gorgeous, or I hear, man, the fire station is gorgeous. How you guys liking it? It's great, thank you. What's up with that cesspool out front? It's like, it just. I mean, I don't know, is there somebody or is there a way or someone to kind of lean on to kind of get that moving a little faster or?
Well, we're supposed to get the report from the civil engineer tomorrow or Friday. That's Chief, that's essentially what we're waiting for right now and to see what their determination is and what they recommend be done to remedy it.
Okay.
And then it's going to be a matter of, well, depends on what they say. There's probably going to be some kind of discussion with the contractor and in particular Jones, the site contractor, as to how to accomplish whatever has to be done quickly. Also without making a mess of the front.
Okay.
Obviously,
should-
we couldn't come in off the apron because that would impact you guys. So they'd be coming in off the parking lot.
So we should have some clarity on that when we meet next meeting in September. How to potentially address the drainage basin.
Yes. I mean, if we have to have an interim meeting, I'll let you know because again, don't know how this is going to
Yeah.
shake out.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone?
Steve, just wanted to bring up, we had a couple of questions on some invoices that came up. I don't know if one of them being an electrician invoice that was an emergency response on a weekend. I think we had emailed back and forth on it. And then I think the chief had a question on an invoice for the access controls that we got an additional, that's like an annual subscription or something. We wanted to check if that was going to be covered under the project or if that's being turned over because we're still waiting on some of the O&Ms.
Well, on the access control bill, my understanding was that was the renewal of the 1 year service agreement, for lack of a better word, on the camera system that was already installed. The contractor owned the first year. This doesn't have anything to do with the 3 cameras that are going to be installed under a change order. This was for the existing system to get going to the next year.
So can you just explain, is this like a subscription for access to is it like a web-based or is this just a maintenance item that they come and they just check on the access control equipment?
Tim, I'd have to look back at what the spec said, but I think it may be a combination of the two, or it certainly may be the web access part of it, maybe because it was like, wasn't it like around $1,000 or something like that?
It was, but we have, quite a few buildings in town and none of them have like a recurring bill such as that. They're the systems just are owned by the town, so that's what I kind of wanted to figure out.
Yeah, like going forward, we need to understand it because it was my understanding that that was not strictly just to renew. It was, they were not going to do the other work unless we did renew it. They wouldn't add the cameras. Like that's kind of the way it was presented, or the way it kind of read to us is that we couldn't get the extra work done unless that was done first. They weren't going to come do any other work unless that was done first.
Well, they can't say that because they have a change order and they're under contract. So, and I think I may have responded back through Brightlight on that issue because they're a sub to the electrical contractor. I think it was EC ESCS or ECSC or something like that. But let me ask you this, have you, I'm assuming you haven't seen the other 3 cameras get installed, correct?
Nope.
Correct.
All right, I'll follow up with that again, but that's not an answer from them.
Yeah, it's more just for me, I want to understand if, if this is becoming an operational expense for the facilities department, or if this is something that, is something that's unexpected, or, because I'm coming into this project obviously a lot later than most, so I don't know as much historical knowledge, but just trying to get caught up on a few of these kind of outstanding items, if you will.
We can readdress them, yes.
And I don't know if this might be a better discussion for us to have in a working group meeting, but
Yeah, we can set up a time.
all right.
The other thing we also had was, for the exhaust remediation system, the Plymouth system. We got a note saying that our 1 year or our warranty was expiring, and that, we had to pay like $1,500 or $1,800. I think it was 15, between 15, 1,800 for a annual service fee for them to continue to maintain it, change the filters, do whatever they need to do to it. But I thought that was it was rather quick for the warranty to be already done. Because we haven't actually been in the building for a year yet. So how is it already over?
Yeah, I think it would depend on my.
Well, the 1-year
contract.
warranty expires, I believe, on September 13th. It's when the substantial completion certificate was issued. It was either the 11th or the 13th. I think it was, you
13.
moved in on the 13th. We may have gotten it on the 11th, but I'd have to look back. So I think they probably are giving you an advance notice that 1-year warranty is expiring. And I don't think the Plymouth vent had an extended warranty on it, but I have to look through the spec. I have not seen that, Chief, by the way.
Okay.
That whatever they sent you. That was from air cleaning specialist, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have a paper copy of that too, and I could send that over to you, Steve.
I mean, at some point,
Chief, we're talking about the exhaust for the vehicles, right?
yes. The thing
Yeah,
we
it's
talked
just-
about.
the hose exhaust.
Yeah, it's just it's a maintenance item, but it's one of those things where, we're waiting on the O&M manuals and we're starting to get hit with kind of these recurring maintenance items, and we don't really even have all the paperwork yet, so. But it's coming from the original installers, a lot of these notices, so.
Okay, so are you asking anything from the committee, Tim?
I just wanted to, I want to see if we can get some of these invoices that have started coming up. Or if, I don't know if that needs committee approval here, or if it's something that gets approved at a working group meeting or something.
Well, I mean, I think it only gets approved by us if it's a project expense.
And that's kind of the question is, is this going to be a project expense? So, Chief had asked about if the project was going to cover the exhaust. We had an electrical system kind of issue that we had an emergency response come over from our town electrician that we work with, that because it was on a weekend and I didn't have all the contacts for the vendor that did the installation. So I didn't have Bright Light's contact at the time to message them. So it wasn't covered under the warranty, if you will.
Here's what I would suggest, Tim, if you want to organize all this stuff, if it's something that you feel is a project and should be paid for by the project, we'll have to list it as an action item on a future meeting.
Okay.
And then you can present kind of the reasoning why you think it's a project expense.
Sounds good to me.
I get to vote.
Well, yeah, you already got one no vote from Todd, no matter what you say. So. Um. Okay. Any other questions for Steve on the OPM updates? The only other thing I put on here is just the ribbon cutting. So Chief, I know Judith sent me an email today. I'll reach out to Blythe and Justin. Who did all the coordination with like the select board last? Was that you? Was that Justin?
I think it was Justin, like I made the like program, but I think Justin coordinated. Like I coordinated the past chiefs and that stuff with Jack, which we can do, but I didn't do the select board.
So is Mike doing that stuff then?
I would think he would do it and reach out to our representatives too, like
Okay.
as the town administrator. I think that
You want me to just, do you want to talk to Judith about that? Do you want me to send an email
I can,
for all of us
or
or?
you can send her an email for all of us and I'll follow up with her.
Yeah. Okay. So. And it sounds like we're gonna meet in September anyway, so we can talk about it more then, but. Any other planning that I mean, I'm assuming similar to the groundbreaking, we'll have some people talk.
Yeah.
And then it's all part of your open house, so
And we,
are you planning on having tour, like,
we were gonna do as a part of the open house, we were gonna do the ceremony like leading into, so we were gonna start. We're gonna start open house at 9, but and then I wanted to talk to the group here about what they would like to do or like to see happen around the ceremony, because we were gonna either wait and start the ceremony, we could do tours beforehand, do the ceremony after, or do the ceremony first and then do tours.
Okay.
Kind of an escorted tour as a part of open house.
so if we talk about it next committee meeting, just when there's more people here, maybe.
And that's still.
That would give us 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, you're almost a month out still,
So it'd be probably enough time.
Yeah.
Make sure you had enough people to go.
Steve, anything we need from you for that?
Where's the
I just had a couple of questions, and one of them was what time, which you just were talking about. I think we can let Ron Lamar know also, because he was a big part of this.
Yeah.
You gotta think about how you're gonna maybe advertise this, or is it just gonna be part of your fire safety week usual, however you advertise for that,
I think we should maybe.
so you get
Advertise
the
it
public.
some other way too, whether it's Facebook or if there's some better. Maybe it's putting something on the message board in the middle of town, or if that's an option.
You usually get a good crowd though, don't you, Chief, for the
Yeah.
safety week?
Yeah, usually open house is pretty well attended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I had is the beam signing.
So I've signed it. I don't know who else has signed it. Rossetti hadn't yet.
No. I think it's just you.
Just me? There's only one signature on it right now. So.
That's all we
time
need.
comes up to get down there. So I'll send out a reminder to the group. Yeah, I'll send out a reminder to the group just to reach out to you.
Did you
And
sign it
so-
right in the middle, Kevin?
No, I signed it off to the side. I kept my signature really small. Need space for everybody, but, so the open house starts at 9. You're thinking the ceremony starts
I think 9:30 or
9:30 or 10?
Yeah.
It's gonna be unlocked for the open meeting at 7 o'clock.
Okay, so I'll talk to Judith about getting select board or who can set up. I think we have Marcus Vaughn.
Yeah.
And
Rebecca Rao.
Roush,
Echo Roush and
a minister.
Yeah, we had our chaplain there, which I'll reach out to him.
Okay, so you'll reach out to him, and then it's, chair of the select board, so we need that. Okay. Do we need like a ceremonial ribbon or anything?
I do have, I think I sent that out. I do have the, a ribbon and, the big scissors.
Ready?
Yeah,
Okay,
that can be, we used it, a couple weeks ago down in Falmouth. So,
okay,
so you don't have to get those. We have them here. I just need to get them back, that's all.
okay. All right, so it sounds like, I mean, the food's already there, because the open house, so it's maybe just giving some thought on,
Yeah, actually,
A tour time.
Captain Finland's trying to get, we had some food trucks that, the recreation had already had lined up for something else that they couldn't use, so we're gonna try to do that and make it a,
yeah,
you know, little festive.
Okay.
But we know food won't be till like, you know, we typically, the food doesn't get there till like 11-ish.
yeah, I think it's mostly the ceremony and then having logistically the tours, like if there's.
Yeah.
Few of you that can break people into groups or something, so. Okay. Anything else? All right, lone action item is approving meeting minutes. I think there's only one that we can approve tonight.
Yeah, we have to wait on the other one.
Yeah, so which one are we approving?
We go for the March.
So we'll approve March 19th and we're gonna postpone May 21st. Correct. Yeah, I'd like to ask for a motion of approval for the March 19th meeting minutes. Second.
All those in favor, it's been a while since I've
Yeah.
done this one, we usually do a roll call.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, it passes. All right, any other discussion topics for anyone? Okay, then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn until our September meeting.
So moved.
Second. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, good night, everybody.